Winston and Felix here, and unemployment is soaring. Not the official numbers, but tech jobs lost have just hit 430,000. Facebook, who laid off 11,000 people, is laying off more people. Disney is slashing 15% of their entertainment division. And think about that. Those 430,000 jobs were fairly highly paid jobs. And there's a knock-on effect. Those people are spending less in their local area. They're going to less restaurants. They might be traveling less. They're putting off non-essential purchases and all that sort of thing. They might be, not renting, moving somewhere cheaper, and lots less tax revenue in all of that. And all of the knock-on effects are what causes recessions. For some reason, we're being led to believe that this economic downturn isn't one. Possibly because there is a major election coming up and no one's ever really won a presidential election if they're an incumbent with a recession in full throttle. So I think they're going to keep trying to deny it, just like they've been manipulating the labor market data since last March, really, pretending they created all these jobs who were really just part-time jobs of people who were working multiple part-time jobs because they couldn't find a real job. That's actually what's going on. And no one's really telling you about it. But literally, I just shared on the Patreon like a full list of all the tech job cuts, which companies, and how that adds up to 430,000. There's a full list on there. So check that out. Just go to felixfriends.org/Patreon. Just join us for the month, trial it out, and get your hands on some real data. And I think that's how you can make better decisions. That's not financial advice. This is Winston's wisdom, of course. But if you know that, you have an idea of what's going to happen with consumer discretionary spending, for example. You have an idea of what's going to happen with the housing market. And understanding this bigger macro picture is, I think, what makes us better investors. And then you look at the market, well, the market is still in this kind of boring and flat phase. We're basically pointing straight at 4,150 on the S&P 500. Why? Because that's where all the options are positioned. It's fairly clear. And it's keeping volatility down, it's keeping fear down, but the funds are very lightly positioned. That means there's two scenarios here. In the short term, if we do get a spike because earnings come in a bit better, just like the macro is coming in a little bit better in recent weeks, you might get a short-term squeeze up. That would be my view. Do you agree, Winston? Clearly, well, maybe not, it's looking the other way. And that will mask and overshadow what's actually going on underneath it, and that's severely deteriorating economy. And people will get absorbed back into the high-risk tech stocks and say it's all marvelous. And then when the real bad news hits, I think they'll feel some pain. That's why I want to share this with you, because if you look at margin expectations for the S&P. So margin expectations, that's future profit margins, are down. The S&P is up. Does that make any sense? No, of course it doesn't make any sense. But in the short term, the market has a luxury. It doesn't have to make sense. But for you as an investor, I think you deserve, and you owe it to yourself, to inform yourself to make sure you actually know what's going on. So that's why we share so much information. Free newsletters down below and so much stuff in the community and everything else. And just check it out. I think you owe it to yourself to become a really marvelous, masterful investor, because you spend so much time accumulating that money and so little time managing it. And that's really rather the wrong way around, isn't it? So check it out. Links down below to programs, coaching, and everything else. And on the coaching, I just want to say, we are eventually going to run out of spots because we do unlimited one-on-one coaching. And to be able to do that, we need to essentially have a limited intake. The bigger that gets, the harder that challenge becomes. So if you're thinking about it, think about it sooner rather than later. And remember, of course, to smash the like button. And Winston says, enjoy the day. Enjoy beautiful sunny Monaco here today. Thanks for tuning in.